as a result of which that supply coming into the market is proving to be a little bit of a dampener in trade today, but it has recovered quite considerably from the low point of the day. And finally, something like a Manappuram Finance also losing ground today, down about 2.7%, no real trigger. There were a few stocks that were moving without any major trigger, and one of them was Prince Pipes earlier today. It was down 5%. I wonder if it's recovered just a tad bit. It is, in fact, above the low point of the day, trading with cuts of about 4% or thereabouts. And on the upside, from the realty pack, you had Suntec Realty that was looking particularly strong in trade today, and it was gaining about 4%. It is now up about 3.3% or thereabouts. An entire real estate play in the residential space on account of the rate cuts doing reasonably well.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, let's also welcome in our guest for the day, Swati Hotkar, AVP Technical Research at Nirmal Bang, and Astha Jain, Senior Research Analyst at HAIM Securities, joining us now. Welcome to both of you, ladies. I take up the first question. Srinivas from Hyderabad is writing in, and he's saying that he's a long-term investor and he's holding Tata Elxsi 400 odd shares at an average price of 1500 and wants to rebalance his portfolio now, and saying whether he can further hold Tata Elxsi or exit from the counter and diversify into something like a persistent or some data center themed stocks. Astha, I'll come to you on this one. What would you suggest? Should he continue to hold Tata Elxsi or switch to something else?
Hi, good morning to all of you. See, I think it's better to book partial profit or to make an exit, because what we have seen in the Tata Elxsi is right now, they are, in fact, the kind of financial performance, we are still not very much convinced about it. Valuations are looking on the higher side. So I think partial profit booking is always recommended for this counter. So it's just a partial profit booking which we are recommending for this counter. And then, yes, one can make entry into the IT stocks, because I think IT stocks are in a good shape right now, in which TCS and persistent system, these two counters are looking very strong to us. So yes, he can exit partially and can make entry in any of these two IT stocks.
We've got our first caller from Ambala. Ajay is calling us. Very good morning, Ajay. How can we help you today?
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. सर मेरे पास AIA इंजीनियरिंग के शेयर हैं 300 शेयर 34-39 पे.
हाँ जी.
सर इसका मुझे फंडामेंटल टेक्निकल पूछना था, और सेकंड सर क्या ये इसको बेच के मैं एशियन पेंट ले सकता हूँ क्या? एशियन बस वही जानना था सर.
अच्छा, आपको AIA इंजीनियरिंग बेचना है और एशियन पेंट्स खरीदना है इस भाव पे?
हाँ सर, ये चलता ही नहीं है, मतलब काफी दिन हो गए मेरे पास 34-39 के 300 शेयर पड़े हुए हैं. तो मुझे लगा कि शायद एशियन पेंट राइट इन्वेस्टमेंट इस समय रहेगा कि इसी में होल्ड करूं AIA इंजीनियरिंग.
और आपका टाइम फ्रेम क्या है? आपने क्या सोच के
मैंने सर ये अपना रिजल्ट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ही लिया था, तो AIA इंजीनियरिंग का तो सब चला था, थोड़ा सा ऊपर गया था, फिर नीचे आ गया ये.
ओके. और एशियन पेंट्स खरीदने का क्या प्लान है? मतलब व्हाई यू थिंकिंग अबाउट इट?
सर वो एक्चुअली जैसे आप लोग बता रहे हैं कि रिलायंस ने सारा अपना स्टेक बेच दिया, तो एक हैंगओवर निकल गया, तो शायद चल जाए.
पर ओके, तो अगर आप एशियन पेंट्स आज खरीदेंगे तो फिर कितने समय तक आप होल्ड करना चाहेंगे?
सर मैं होल्ड कर सकता हूँ इसको, 1 ईयर भी होल्ड कर सकता हूँ. कोई ऐसा अगर आप अच्छा इन्वेस्टमेंट रहा तो इस लेवल पे, क्योंकि काफी दिनों से चलता ही नहीं है सर ये, इसलिए पूछ रहा था एक्टिविटी के बाद क्या राइट टाइम है कि नहीं सर.
Okay, understood. So let me on the technicals go to Swati. Swati, what's the view on these two? AIA Engineering, as he's pointed out, has not done too much for him. If you can give your response in Hindi, he wants to know whether he can sell it and buy something like an Asian Paints.
AI इंजीनियरिंग में भी अभी भी पॉजिटिव है. नो वंडर हम लोग ने काफी अच्छी रैली देखी थी फ्रॉम ऑलमोस्ट 3050 टू 3600. उसके बाद हम लोग ने एक प्रॉफिट बुकिंग देखा है, बट अभी भी ट्रेंड अपसाइड है. आई विल सजेस्ट टू होल्ड ऑन. नीचे में एक स्टॉप लॉस रख सकते हो 3370 का, 3370 का स्टॉप लॉस रख के अपने लॉन्ग पोजीशन होल्ड कर सकते हो. उसमें क्षमता है वापस से 3600 के आसपास जाए, एंड वहां पे आप प्रॉफिट्स बुक कर सकते हो. एशियन पेंट की बात करें तो डेफिनेटली यू कैन इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हो लॉन्गर टर्म होराइजन के हिसाब से, क्योंकि काफी हम लोग ने सेल ऑफ देखा है ये पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक्स में. प्राइस करेक्शन के हिसाब से मैं बात करूँ 3400 से ऑलमोस्ट 2200 है. यहाँ पे डबल बॉटम फॉर्मेशंस बने. अगर आपका नजरिया 1 से 2 साल का है तो या करंट लेवल्स पे आप बाय कर सकते हो. 2270 के आसपास ये पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक ट्रेड हो रहा है. ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इनिशियल टारगेट्स मेरे 2500-2600 के लिए ओपन हो जाते हैं. तो लॉन्गर टर्म ड्यूरेशन के लिए डेफिनेटली यू कैन स्टार्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट इनटू द एशियन पेंट.
So that's with regards to where charts are concerned for both AI Engineering as well as Asian Paints. It's interesting because the stock has not done much, year to date as well. It's hardly down 2% and 1 year it's been down 22%. But of course, the fundamentals of the company still not looking very positive because there is a demand overhang on the entire paint space. All right, moving on to the next question. Lucky from Ahmedabad is asking the next question. He's holding BEML 12 shares at 4,440 apiece. And has been holding for more than 15 months now, but saying no gains that he's witnessed so far on the counter. Wants to know as to what's the potential for this counter going ahead. Asta, I'll come to you on this one. Interestingly, we also spoke to the management of BEML today. So, Lucky, I request you to go to our YouTube channel. In case you've missed the conversation, you can go to our social media handles and check out the interview. As I come to you on this one, the management guidance was quite positive. He said that FY26 order book will double. In terms of execution also, it will be better. What do you suggest? Should he continue to hold?
Yes, definitely. Because yes, management is quite optimistic. They were expecting the order book to get doubled by FY26. They are getting good traction from the aerospace and defense space. And definitely they are also expecting margins to go higher in the longer term. So I think overall the defense space in particularly is looking very, very strong. And this is the counter which seems to be very interesting right now. My idea here is stay invested in this counter for the price target of 4,700 at the initial level. And these are short-term targets which I'm recommending because in the longer term, it can move above the level of 5,000. So hold the counter is what we can recommend for this stock right now.
Hold the counter is the view coming on BEML. Our next caller, Dheeraj, is calling in from Hyderabad. Dheeraj, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. To everyone in the panel, actually. So, ma'am, my query is regarding Premier Energies.
Okay.
I have accumulated Premier Energies for a short-term trade, actually, for 45 days to 2 months or a maximum note.
Okay.
I have accumulated 420 shares of Premier Energies at 1,050 rupees, ma'am.
Okay.
So, is it good to stay invested in this counter because a lot of foreign investors and local domestic mutual fund houses added this stock at 1,058 levels?
Okay.
So, I thought there will be a good upside in shorter term.
Okay.
But there have been volumes, but there is no upside actually since a few days.
Mm-hmm.
So, one more small thing, ma'am.
Right.
Markets have corrected recently and they almost came back.
Right.
But individual stocks, if we look at like REC, Power Finance,
right.
REC and Power Finance Corporation and IRCTC,
right.
Not IRCTC exactly, actually, like all the power counters and some other counters like JSW Energy and CG Power and every counter, like Tube Investment.
Got it.
In all these counters, the all-time high is like very high. Like if we come to Tube Investment, it is like around 5,000 rupees a piece,
right,
each share. So now they're currently trading at around 2,900 and 2,800.
Got it.
When will all these stocks come back to those levels again? Like many people like got held up at higher levels. Like
Understood.
Me too.
Understood.
Like I was held up in some railway stocks.
Got it. Dheeraj, I got your point. I'll take this up with Asta then. Asta, I'll come to you quickly on what he's mentioned for, the second part of his question. For Premier Energies, I'll go to Swati. But what he's saying is that a lot of stocks are stocks that people, bought in when they were at their all-time high. And then these stocks, corrected significantly. What should one do if they're stuck in these kind of stocks?
So first of all, it depends on the kind of industry they are stuck in. If it is a defense industry, definitely they are all long-term candidates. In the shorter term, because of the valuations we are seeing, or we can see some more downfall, but all these are short-term phenomena. In the long term, this sector is well poised to show more returns from here. Similarly is the case with the sector like power and infra. So right now, I think these are some of the sectors which only due to the valuation and maybe due to the expectation that government spending will be more in the budget which gone by, and that does not come up to the expectation, the sector is showing some sort of, not so much strong performance. But in the longer term, I believe that the all counters from the sector, especially if their financial performance, which will continue to be stronger, definitely they will be a good candidates to hold for the long term. So these are all short-term phenomena. And right now we are very much positive on the defense space. Definitely we have given a call on the BEML right now only. And in the other defense counters like BEL, etc., HAL, we are also very positive. In the railway sector, we are still positive, and I think power sector is also looking strong to us. So right now, stay invested in these counters. These are short-term phenomena due to the stretched valuation. They might not be working well in the short stock price momentum, but in the long term, definitely they will again prove to be a good gainers.
And Swati, not sure if you have enough data on the charts for Premier Energies. If yes, what are the charts indicating?
Yeah, as of now, looking towards the only technical setups, I believe my view will be a little bit cautious because from the last 2 months, the continuously counter is facing a formations of the low top, slow bottom formation and facing a very strong resistance of 20 DMA, which comes to around 1050 levels. The client has the same CMP buying levels, I believe. The downside, it has a good support of 990 level, which has been tested yesterday also. So as long as it's maintained that support, we can witness some sort of a pullback rally, which might take a counterbacks towards 2050 then 1100 levels. I will suggest not to book the losses, but please maintain the strict stop loss of a 990, because if it's break that level, then we are likely to witness more selling pressure, which might take a counter towards to 900 and so levels. So the view is a bit cautious. Try to hold your long positions, or sell on rise strategy should be applied, but at the current level you can hold on by maintaining a 990 rupees as strict stop loss.
Speaking of stocks that have dropped quite considerably from their all-time highs, this is not an all-time high for Tata Motors, but it is elevated levels. Rajesh, who's writing in, has bought Tata Motors at levels of 1,080 in September of 2024, so it's not very long back. But the stock has been facing headwinds of all sorts, whether it is problems in the US with regard to tariffs, or if it is certain pockets or markets that it has underperformed in, and specifically I'm talking about Jaguar Land Rover here, it's not had the best time. And the latest update, of course, is that the outlook for FY26 on the revenue front and on the margin front does not look very pretty, and the stock has taken a bit of a beating in the week gone by as well, or last couple of trading sessions as well. Stock is down about 1% today. Yesterday it was down 3.7%. So the question that Rajesh has is that he does not have cash to average even at this point, and he is wondering whether to hold or not. Asta, that's a question I think a lot of people will be asking. If Tata Motors is trading at 681, in your opinion, what is fair value, taking into account the Jaguar Land Rover business as well? And how long will he have to hold to recover his price?
So I think the time should be a longer term. Why? Because in fact, when we have attended the management meeting also, in fact, management was also not very much positive about the kind of CAGR growth which they have witnessed in the past. So that is the major thing. But now, one thing which we liked about that management meet is that they were very much confident about outperforming the industry growth, and in fact increasing their share in the PV and the CV space. So I think that is what which we find to be very attractive. But yes, in the shorter term there might be some challenges, so it is not a short term phenomena. Stay invested in this counter, keeping in mind long term, which can vary from 6 months to 1 year. I mean, the time horizon can vary from 6 months to 1 year. So this is not a short term phenomena. We are positive on this counter, but for the longer term. And I think there's no need to take out losses or profit from this counter. Remain invested with a price target of 750.
750, all right. So that's the view on Tata Motors. It's dealing with a tough time at this juncture, but it may not last forever. Obviously, it's the long-term philosophy that you should have with these stocks. Himanshu is calling us from Lucknow. Himanshu, namaskar. How can we help you today?
Namaskar, sir. Actually, sir, I am having shares of PNB Bank, 200 shares of PNB Bank at the rate of 99. Okay. And I want to know what will be the short-term target for these shares as per global scenario is going up and down. So should I book profit or should I hold more?
देखिए, ग्लोबल सिनेरियो का ज़्यादा कुछ लेना देना नहीं है पीएनबी के साथ. तो have you identified your duration? Do you want to hold for a few months or a year?
I am holding this share from last 6 months already.
Okay. And how long can you hold it for?
I can hold it for 2 or 3 months more.
Got it. Okay. So Swati, on the charts at 99, it's not too far away from the current market price at 107. And of course, fundamentally, there's a lot at play in the banking space. One would anticipate with the cut in the rate that has been announced over the course of the last few months, that lending activity starts picking up as well. So that's a fundamental story. But in the next 2 to 3 months, what is the potential upside on PNB?
The overall view is definitely positive on this particular stock, because whatever the rally we are witnessing in the PSA, this is the particular counter also has shown a participation in those kind of a rally. Now, since the buying price is exactly nearby the CMP, is almost 92 levels, and currently the stock is trading at 107 levels, the short-term view will be little bit cautious because the stock is on the verge of giving the breakdown. But on the longer-term horizon, definitely my view is positive. If the client is looking for the trading perspective, I will suggest to book the profits. And if for the longer term duration, if you want to hold on, I will suggest to hold on by keeping a strict stop loss of 100 rupees on a downside. I'm looking for a pullback rally of at least 115 to 120 levels. So those are the target I'm looking for 2 to 3 months. So you may hold the long positions if you're looking for a period of at least 2 to 3 months. If not, then I will suggest to book the profits.
Okay. And did you give a stop loss?
Yes, 104 will be my stop loss.
Okay.
104 is the stop loss for PNB Bank. So that's the view with regards to where charts are concerned for PNB Bank. Our next caller, Arun, is calling in from Bengaluru. Arun, a very good morning to you. I believe you have a question on Vishal Mega Mart.
Right. So good morning, everyone. So my question was on the Vishal Mega Mart. So today, based on the bulk deal news I just bought in, I've seen the technical this thing as well. So I just wanted fundamental analysis how the Vishal Mega Mart looks.
Right.
Just wanted to check the target as well, target and stop loss.
Okay, got your question, Arun. I'll take this up with Asta. Asta, it's an interesting question for sure, because the stock is trading today in the red because of the block deal that has taken place. The expectation was that the promoter will sell around 10% of the stake. Then the deal was upside. So roughly 20% of the stake is expected to be sold by the promoter. So that will bring down their holding from 74% to roughly that 54 to 55%. Just wanted to get your sense there. Plus, of course, 56% of the lock-in also ended today. So it's very likely that it's promoter stake sale only. And the other thing is that all these tier 2 cities tier 2 city based retailers have done very well, exceedingly well in FY25. What do you think should be the outlook for FY26? Do you think this kind of momentum will continue?
Yes, but today the kind of news flow which we have seen and what is happening right now regarding the block deal, that can be that is a major dampener. That is why we are seeing the prices falling, because promoters selling a big stake or a big chunk is not always taken strongly or in a good way by the markets, and that is why we are seeing it falling down. But now if I look after other fundamentals, first of all, they have got a very high presence in the large fat SKUs, so that is very strong to them. In fact, in the private label space also, they have got connections with a very strong and the reputed manufacturers. So I think that is also helping the company. So yes, and they are getting now strong presence in the tier 2 space. So fundamentals are looking good, but when this kind of news flow comes, definitely it always lead the stock price falling towards downside. So maybe it can fall some downside more from here, but in the long term we are positive on this counter since the time the IPO came. And right now I'm maintaining my stance. This stock is poised for the upside of 135 to 140 in the medium to long term. So stay invested, but in the short term it can see some more downside.
Those would be opportunities, I would assume, to pick up further, right, Azad?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Buy on dip strategy. Okay. An interesting question coming through from Balasubramanian, who's writing in from Bengaluru. And I think he's representing a lot of people that did subscribe to the Hyundai Motor IPO. It's a very large IPO, and it was quite a bit of retail participation as well. But he has got 196 shares, he points out, through that IPO allotment. And from that date till this point, it's not really done anything. There you go. The screen tells you that it's just about recovered or very close to its issue price right now. So his idea is that he has 3.84 lakhs that he can pull out from this, and he can deploy it into something like a Tata Motors, which is down in the dumps as we've spoken about, or TVS Motor or Eicher Motors. And he's wondering whether he should do that. So Asa, we've had this conversation with another few market experts, and what they've pointed out is one of them said that they've actually gone out and bought Hyundai at this point, considering that it's out of favor. It has been. It's losing market share at this point. But at the same time, it's going to start production in a new facility down the line later on in this current financial year. And in the current facilities, it's operating at high capacity utilization. Its operating metrics look strong. So is there any reason to exit and move to other auto companies that might look better?
So right now, see, Hyundai, I tell you, first of all, the product launches pipeline is very, very strong. I think around 26 new products they are expecting to launch by FY30. So that seems to be very strong for this company. And now the company expects the volume CAGR to grow by 7% in the coming, years. Here, if I take about the Tata Motors, the same is the case when we listen to the management. Management was not very much optimistic about, volume CAGR growth. So I think I am taking these two cases together, and what I feel is that right now, although Hyundai has not given strong returns to the investors since the time of its IPO, but right now, rather than exiting from this counter and making entry into the Tata Motors or TVS Motor, the only problem with the TVS Motor is its high valuation. Otherwise, that counter seems to be very strong to us. So my idea here is exit partially or don't exit at all. These are the two options which I can recommend right now, because rather than exiting and making entry into the Tata Motor, this does not make any sense. Keep invested in the Hyundai Motor only, because if the company will be talking about its product launch pipeline, it is very strong. In fact, their new Pune plant is also the start of new Pune plant will also give very strong, impetus to the company. So overall, stay invested in the Hyundai Motor with a price target of 2,000 and 2,100.
Okay, so only because it's a pretty considerable amount that he's investing, I want to drive home this point. If I were to ask you on all metrics put together, valuations, earnings potential, and market share, all of that put together in the automotive space, and I will extend that to the auto anc space as well, auto ancillary space as well. Which according to you is the top bet? Is that Hyundai at this point?
If I have to select my options among these threes, then yes, Hyundai is there. And in the total automobile space, if I'm talking about, then I think, yes, other automotive counters like Maruti also looking good to us, but in the longer term. So among these three stocks, I think Hyundai Motor is my top pick. But among all the other, automobile space, if I talk about, then M&M, Maruti, these two counters are also looking good to us.
And just to then wrap up the conversation on automotive, Swati, you heard this entire conversation. How would you play this on technicals?
Yes, on the technical front, I believe definitely he should stay invested into the Hyundai itself compared to the Tata Motors, because there are a lot of news are flowing into this particular counter. No wonder on the technical pattern, the Tata Motor is trading at a lower level compared to the Hyundai, but I believe the fundamental reasons will play a very strong momentum rally on the technical front as well. So better to stay invested into the Hyundai compared to the Tata Motors. For a longer term on the technical front, I believe that if it's clear this 1970 levels on the high side on the closing basis, then 2050, 2100 levels can be seen very soon. So the overall view on the positive on the Hyundai will be a positive, and one should stay invested in this particular counter.
Okay, all right, so comprehensive view, not just on Hyundai, but on the automotive space as a whole. And this is the reason why you should continue watching Ask Profit. We don't just give you a short answer to a question, we give you a long answer where it's required. We have to slip into a very quick break. We've got more stocks that we'll discuss on the other side, so do stay tuned.
That's huge. That is a biggie. It's on.
गोल्ड ग्लास क्लियर ग्लास, पार हो या नियर, सब कुछ दिखे क्लियर.
One question can change everything. The big question. Bold, direct, uncompromising. Tough topics, hard-hitting analysis. Conversations that matter. We break it down. Cut through the noise and set the context. for you. Hear from top policy makers and thought leaders from the world of business and beyond. The big question really is, are companies using dark patterns to take you for a ride? The big question we're asking today, is the US heading towards a recession? The big question is, are we sacrificing our health at the cost of convenience? The questions you care about, asked and answered. The big question.
Imports become the exception rather than the norm, and increasingly we do almost last year, for example, of the contracts that we signed of record 2,09,000 crores, 81% was awarded to the domestic industry. Our intent is to manufacture in India, preferably with design also in India.
I am so elated to be on the same screen as the Defense Secretary, and I get a chance to talk about what he said.
In certain areas, like for example, artillery guns and armored vehicles, or in some categories of missiles like the BrahMos and the Akash, we
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit, a show that gets all your stock-related queries answered. For viewers who are just tuning in, you can either call us or WhatsApp us on the numbers that are flashing on your screen right now. All right, we've got our next caller. Paramjeet is calling in from Himachal Pradesh. Paramjeet, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Good morning, madam. I'm having 400 shares of E-Mudra at the rate of 730.
Okay.
Want to know long-term as well as short-term view.
Okay. Okay, I got your question, Paramjeet. I'll take this up quickly with Swati then. Swati is holding E-Mudra, 400 odd shares at 730. What's the outlook like where charts are concerned from a longish period perspective?
My view is a little bit cautious to bearish. I will suggest to exit the long positions at the current market price because the counter is trading in a low top, low top bottom formations in a downward rising channel. No sign of any reversals from the current level. It has given the breakdown of the cluster supports levels of 735 and trading below that levels. I believe that if today it manages to give the closing below 730, then more selling pressure is likely to be intensified and which might take a counter towards to 710, 700 levels. So view is cautious. Try to exit the long positions at the current market price.
All right. So that's with regards to where charts are concerned for E-Mudra. Our next question is a very interesting question. The question is is in fact from Devender, who's writing in from Hyderabad. He's asking if he can make an entry in any of the consumer discretionary stocks from a longer term perspective where valuations at present are looking attractive. I'll come to you on this one, Astha. A lot of positives coming in for the consumer discretionary space. You have your tax rate cuts, your overall income tax rate cuts, plus there's 8th pay commission coming in. The expectation was that this will boost consumer discretionary as a space. Any particular counter that you think is attractive enough to enter right now where valuations are concerned?
So I think first of all, Blue Star is looking good to us. In fact, this is the counter which we like in the consumer discretionary space from last few months. So Blue Star is one of the counter, although it is down today, but I think in the longer term it can move to the level of 1800 to 1900. So Blue Star and Voltas, these are some of the stocks which have started gaining momentum in the last few days. So this is one the space which we are liking right now. Another stock is Banco Products. In fact, that counter is also looking good to us. So these are 2-3 stocks which we are really liking in the small and mid cap space in the consumer discretionary space.
All right. So that's with regards to where, in fact, the counters that Astha likes in the consumer discretionary space. All right. Our next caller, Kaushik, is calling in from Hyderabad. Kaushik, a very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Yeah, thank you for taking the call. So I would like to know if it is the right time to enter some pharmaceutical industries, as recently US FDA has issued Form 483 with 8 observations for its halal facility in Gujarat.
Right.
So the stock went down to 2% today. So I'd like to know if it's the right time to accumulate the stock.
Right.
For a long-term perspective.
Okay, got your question, Kaushik. I'll take this up with Astha. Astha, do you think Sun Pharma is the right counter to invest in right now, or any other in the pharma space that you like?
So I think one can make investment in this counter at the lower levels. And if I talk about the fundamental of this counter, I mean now they have started their reducing their dependence on the US generics, which seems to be very good, and there is a good strong growth visibility from the domestic space. So this is what we are liking about this company. And in fact, I think right now the kind of news flow it is having, maybe some more downside we can see, but that are the good levels to make entry into it. Maybe 1630 or 1620 are those levels where one can make a fresh entry into this counter as well.
Okay. We've got the next question from Jeevan Muddaji, who's writing on Canara Bank. And incidentally, on the banking space, I found it quite interesting. Earlier, we were talking about PNB, where we were talking about PNB Bank. It's like seeing Punjab National Bank. But if you think about RBL Bank, it used to be Ratnakar Bank Limited, and now it's called RBL Bank. So that's kind of a theme in the banking space. Anyway, Canara Bank is the name of the counter that we're talking about next, and the price is 91.81. And Jeevan wants to know what the long-term target should be. He's in the green right now. Astha, Canara Bank specifically, what's the view?
Canara Bank's view is positive because what we have seen that there is a strong improvement in their PCR ratios. Their asset quality have shown up very, very strong and healthy, figures. GNP ratio, if I talk about, so in fact asset quality has improved a lot, and in fact their margins are stable and healthy. So I think Canara Bank is a good bank to stay invested in. Price target at the initial level is 120 to 130, but these are initial level. In the long term, the stock can move till the level of 135 to 140 also.
All right, so that's with regards to where Canara Bank stands. Our next caller, Mansing, is calling in from Andhra Pradesh. Mansing, a very good morning to you. I believe you have a question on Avanti Feeds today.
Good morning, madam. Thank you for taking my query. Madam, I am holding Avanti Feeds, madam. Should I book profit and want to invest in PG Electroplast?
Okay.
Is this the correct level to enter into PG Electroplast, or should I continue to invest in the Avanti Feeds, or should I book partial profit and park that money into PG Electroplast or Adani Power? Please suggest me.
Okay, I got your question, Mansing. Just want to understand what's the kind of time period that you're looking for?
I'm 1 to 2 years, madam.
1 to 2 years.
I'm holding this Avanti Feeds last 2 years, madam.
Okay. Okay, got your question then. I'll take this up with Astha. Astha, should he book partial profits? He's sitting on a profit of 27,000 odd rupees right now and enter into something like a PG Electroplast, or book full profits?
Partial profit booking is recommended for this counter because in the Avanti Feed results were strong. 41% growth in the bottom line of Q4 FY25 they have shown. So I was very much convinced with the results, and that might be one of the reasons that we have seen the stock prices momentum in the upward direction. So partial profit booking is recommended for this counter, and one can really make profit booking at the current levels also.
We've been contemplating starting a new sub-segment at the start of the show where we ask our fundamental and technical experts to give their recommendations on the day, their top fundamental buy on any given day, and the technical buy calls. So let us know if you'd like us to introduce that segment. The reason I'm asking that is because incidentally the next question is just such a question. So Kundaviti Srinivasa Rao is asking about today's stock recommendations, and he's got a short-term perspective that he's looking at. So Swati, on the charts, what are the top buys right now?
Currently on the technical front, Techno really looking very good buy. So because the daily chart shows that the stock is well placed above all the important moving averages, 50, 100 and 200 EMA. Also the interesting fact, it has given the breakout of the flag pattern on the daily chart, which gives a very strong indications on upward rally. Currently the counter is trading at 448, 449 levels. By maintaining the strict stop loss of a 425, I'm looking for a target of at least 520 rupees on the higher side. So it's one of the strong counter to take a buy call on the technical front.
All right. So that's the view on time on Techno. That is the suggestion that Swati has. Lakshmi is calling us from Hyderabad. Lakshmi, very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Good morning all. Thanks for taking my query. So I am holding 2,000 Tanla shares at an average price of 640 rupees.
Right.
So I heard there is a buyback, announcement at 875 rupees. So I would like to know whether to, hold it or to just sell and book profit. I am looking for a very short term, like 1 week to 10 days.
Okay. So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
You're not looking to offer your shares in the buyback, right?
No, I am just wanted to,
book profits.
Sell it off in like 1 week to 10 days.
Okay. So let me ask Swati the short-term time frame. The stock is up and about in trade today, 4% higher. Is there potential for further upside?
Yes, definitely there is a potential to see a upside rally at least towards 720 to 730 levels on the high side. But the main concern is that the stock is trading in the overbought zone, and even the client has a good amount of a profit share is earning. I would suggest to book the partial profits, not to take much more risk at CMP. Another half you can hold on by keeping a profit stop loss of a 650 on a downside and hold it for a target of a 740 to 750 levels on the high side.
All right, so that's with regards to where Tanla Platform stands. Our next question, we've taken this. Our next question is from Shweta Kohli, who's writing in from Gurugram. She's holding Indus Tower at 380 a piece and wants to know for the next 3 odd months, what's the outlook like? Swati, I'll come to you on this one. What are the charts indicating for Indus Towers?
On the Indus Tower, yes, we have already seen a very good amount of a rally in the month of the May thing from the 350 to 420 levels. But currently the counter is also, the strength is remaining intact. We have seen that the stock manages to take a cluster support of a 370 levels. And there again, we are witnessing a upward rally on the higher sides. As of now, yes, stock is on the verge of giving the breakout of the downward sloping trend line. Very soon, if it manages to give the breakout of 400 levels, upside momentum can be seen towards to 420 to 430 levels. The interesting observation that it is under the consolidation phase, and after the consolidation breakouts, we are likely to witness a very strong momentum rally. So I will suggest to hold on your long positions for a target of 420 to 440 levels on the high side.
So that's a view on Indus Tower. Hope that answers your question. We've got a next caller from Chennai. Anbu is calling us. Anbu, very good morning. How can we help you today?
Good morning, everyone. Hi, I'm holding a 509 shares of JSW.
Okay.
Average of 529. Actually, I'm looking for outlook of 1 year's time. I just want to know information.
Okay. Anbu, before I get to that, can you tell me how to say good morning in Tamil?
Vanakkam.
Vanakkam. Okay, Vanakkam. All right, I will remember that. The next time you call, I will say Vanakkam. All right, so, and you've got a 1 year time frame, right?
Just 1 year time.
Okay, all right. Swati, I'm coming to you on this one. JSW Energy is the name of the counter. 529 is the buy price. What's the 1 year time frame, as in target?
Yes, the view is positive for longer term horizon, Alex. Why I'm saying that if you look towards the 2023 rally, whatever we have witnessed from 2,200 levels to 780, the stock has retraced almost 61.8%, which is the golden ratio of the Fibonacci retracements, and it manages to take a very strong support of a 440 levels. Now it is in a sideways momentum, as long as it holds stat level 440 levels, very soon we are likely to see a strong momentum rally if it manages to give the breakout of a 520. Which is acting as a cluster resistance zone on the monthly chart as well. Any move above that level, we are likely to witness a very strong momentum rally towards to 590 to 620 levels on the high side. So for the year end, so I believe that the 620, 640 levels can be seen. So you can hold on the long positions for a 1 year end.
Okay, so that's with regards to where JSW Energy stands. Our next question is from Chintala Pudi, who's writing in from Andhra Pradesh. She's holding, he or she is holding.
No, Shekhar from Chintala Pudi.
Chintala
Pudi is the name of the place.
My bad. All right. Okay. Okay, I certainly don't know where this is exactly in Andhra Pradesh. Though I have, my mom's from Andhra Pradesh, but
shame on you.
I need to.
Shame.
Anyway, Shekhar from Chintala Pudi, Andhra Pradesh, is writing in and holding 450 odd shares of SJVN, bought at almost 100 rupees a piece, and wants to know if he can sell, hold or buy at the moment. He's not given his time horizon so far, but Asa, I'll come to you on this one. SJVN, what's the outlook like?
Outlook is positive for this counter, so I recommend hold among these three options: buy, hold, and sell. Hold is the recommendation from our side with a price target of 110 to 115 at the initial levels.
Well, it's happened to me as well. We have a viewer from Karnal and I kept calling him Karnal. So it happens. It happens. I'm sure our viewers will forgive us these small lapses. Ram is calling us from Guntur. Ram, very good morning to you. How can we help you today?
Good morning. Good morning.
Please go ahead.
My query regarding the Ramky infrastructure.
Okay.
I purchased 10,000 shares at the rate of 508.
Okay.
In the month of April.
Okay.
And I hold up to 3 months continuously. Or can I book profit?
Okay. What was the thinking, Ram, when you bought it in April? It seems like a very good buy price. What was the trigger?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm asking, why did you decide to buy 10,000 quantity in April?
I am very interested in the real estate company.
Okay. All right.
Hyderabad based mainly.
Right.
But I am a native of AP.
Understood. So you bought it for fundamental reasons, but you made a sizable amount of profit and you wonder whether there is further upside in the next 3 months or to book profit right now. Is that correct?
Okay.
Yes, okay, all right. Swati, the question is therefore to you, 10,000 shares is a pretty large quantity, bought at 508. Should he book profits at this point or hold for 3 months?
The counter is trading nearby the buying price itself and he has a very huge quantity. I will suggest the view is definitely positive, but looking towards the quantity, I will suggest to book the half profits because 508 levels daily we are witnessing in this particular counter. So try to churn your principal amounts and you can earn the good amount of profits. So at the current market price, you can book your partial profits very soon. If it manages to give the breakdown of 505, you will get a more downside towards to 480 levels. You can add on those quantity at a lower levels. But the long-term horizon definitely view is positive. 530 is the initial resistance level. If it's break that level, then 560, 570 levels can be seen very soon. So partial profits book profits are recommended at the current market price. Second partial you can hold on for a target of 540 to 570 levels.
Okay, so that's with regards to where Ramky Infra stands. Our next question, it's from Rajesh, who's writing in from Bengaluru and wants a view on Azad Engineering, who's holding 150 odd stocks bought at 1,300 rupees from a longer term perspective. Asta, I'll come to you on this one. He's sitting on profits of 51,000 odd rupees. Do you suggest that he should continue to hold or what's the view like?
So Azad Engineering, we are liking this counter and we are recommending a hold on this counter with a price target of around 1,700 to 1,740. What we are particularly liking about this counter that the kind of order book they are having, in fact, the margin profile is looking very strong to us. And going ahead also, we expect the company to grow at a CAGR of 10 to 15% in over the time period of 2 to 3 years. So idea here is to stay invested, although short-term price target can be kept at around 1,700 odd levels.
Okay, so that's with regards to where Azad Engineering stands, and hold is the view coming in from Asta from a longer term perspective. All right, our next caller, Asif, is calling in from Patna. Asif, a very good morning to you. I believe you have a question on Jio Financial.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Go ahead with your query.
I have Jio Finance at 200 quantity. I have at 243 rupees average.
Okay.
And I already have 10k profit. So I want to know, what is it right time to buy more? Maybe almost double or 200 share more I want to buy.
Okay, and this is from a short-term perspective or would you want to continue to hold this? Long-term perspective. Okay.
Maybe 2 year, 5 year anyway.
Okay, got your question, Asif. Then I'll take this up with Asta. Asta, he's sitting on profits of 10,000 rupees on Jio Financial and he wants to double his current holding and average out. What's the view like?
So view is positive because what we have seen a very strong set of numbers. In fact, they have got their customers more than double to around 2.31 million. And the Q4 FY25 was a fantastic quarter for this company. But we believe that, in fact, in their financial performance also, that rising interest income is really helping them, apart from the fact that they are launching new innovative products. So yes, one can make a fresh entry, but at the lower levels, or can accumulate the stock at the lower levels as well, at around 270 to 275 odd levels. But stay invested for the remaining quantity with a price target of around 330 to 340.
So I'm getting a few suggestions on message to say good morning in different languages, and apparently Tulu is Solmelu. I hope that you're not getting me to say something wrong. Ranjan, it is my fervent prayer that you're not asking me to say something wrong on national television. All right. The question is on Bajaj Finance. And the question is whether or not it should be accumulated at this point. Of course, yesterday is when it traded X split and X bonus, and so therefore the price change is quite dramatic. It is now available at 924 rupees a pop. So the question for you, Asta, is considering that it's more affordable right now, a lot of people were not able to buy a significant quantity. Is this the moment that you start doing that?
Yes, because credit cost, which we are expecting to get moderated, and in fact, the NIMs, whatever this company is posting right now, is also, we are expecting NIMs to improve on the basis of the interest rate cut cycle, which we are presently into. Asset quality is also at a stronger side or a decent side. So overall, I think this is the quarter which one can make a fresh entry as well as remain invested. So both are the recommendations which we are recommending for this counter.
All right. Our next caller is from Bengaluru. Vikram is calling us. Very good morning, Vikram. How can we help you today?
Namaskara, Alex.
Namaskara. Please go ahead.
Wonderful. Alex, I have 700 shares of Cyient Limited, which I bought last week at a price of 1,330.
Okay.
And I follow the show regularly, and this was a recommendation I picked up from Mr. in one of the conversations last week.
Yes.
I just want to understand if this is something that can be held on for a term of 3 to 6 months, and what is it that could be expected on this one?
What is the potential upside? Because I lost your voice for just a short while. Okay. All right. So 3 months. And I'm glad that you're already making a small profit. Let me go across to to Swati for the view on the charts, because our panelist on the show, Mr. Choklingam, has a very high degree of conviction on this, on the fundamentals for the long term, and so he's advocating. He says that he has asked his clients to buy. He's also pointed out that he doesn't hold it himself. But on the charts, would you hold on to this, and what is the kind of level that you would watch on the upside?
Surely, Alex, definitely the view is positive. Why so? Because after a sharp correction in the mid of 2024 to the start of 2025, we have seen a correction from 2200 to almost 1100. And from there onwards, we are witnessing some sort of a reversal signs on the technical front as well. The stock has came above the oversold zone, which indicates that the downside is limited. And at the current levels from the last 3 to 4 weeks, we are witnessing a strong consolidation phase. Now the stock is consolidating with a range of 1300 to 1400. Any move above that level will witness a very strong momentum rally towards to 1600 to 1800. So those are the targets we are looking on the technical front over a period of 6 months. So the view is definitely positive. One should definitely hold on the long positions. If you want to keep any stop loss downside, it has a very good support at around 1250 levels. So by maintaining that as your stop loss for a long positions, you can hold on for a immediate target of 1600, and beyond that 1800 levels can be seen.
Okay. All right. I'm coming back to you on this one, and it's relatively time sensitive, which is why I'm coming to you. Venkat from Andhra Pradesh wants to deploy 15 lakh rupees. It's a sizable quantity to buy DLF shares for a period of 6 months. I want to actually pull up the shorter term time frame. If we can pull up the last 3 months on DLF and see what the kind of move has been, because the entire pack has made a strong recovery. There you go. So 31% upside over the course of the last 3 months. Would you buy at this point though, or would you split your buy among a few other real estate players if you do want to play that real estate theme, Swati?
Yes, definitely. I will not suggest to take a long positions in a one shot into the DLF at the current market price, because from the last 3 years, week back or three weeks back only, the stock has given the breakout of a 750, and from there onwards we have seen a very swift rally towards to 900. So at the current level, the risk reward ratio is not favorable at the CMP. No wonder from the last 1.5 week, the reality packs are really doing very well. Majorly the small caps are doing really good on the reality packs. DLF, I I will suggest hold for some more time. If you have witnessed any correction between the 780 to 820 levels, those are the good support zone for this particular standard. Try to add on the quantity, but not the lump sum quantity. I will suggest to 15 lakhs in a one sector itself. Try to diversify your funds. Any another counter looks interesting on the reality is the DB reality. This particular stock is also looks very good. Buy on dip strategy should be implied because from the last 2 weeks we are continuously witnessing a very strong rally. Try to deploy the another funds into the banking counters and the IT packs. Those are the really good counters which will give a good amount of money from the IT pack, Tech Mahindra and HCL Techs, and from the banking sector, Axis Bank and the SBI. Those are looks very promising on the technical front. So try to diversify your capital into the different sectors so that your portfolio get hedged and you will not face major risk if you entered into the one sector itself.
Okay. All right. Our next caller, Murli, is calling in from Bengaluru. Murli, I believe you have a question on TVS Holdings.
Yeah. I bought TVS Holding. Good morning.
Good morning.
I bought TVS Holding, 25 shares at 11,010.
Okay.
I analyzed everything. I compared to Bajaj Holdings also.
Okay.
In all parameters, TVS Holdings scores.
Okay.
As far as financial performance is concerned, ROE, dividend, and they are in the same industry. Are holding companies, but subsidiary companies are similar. The auto and finance.
Okay.
If I want to add more, whether I should do TVS Holding or to diversify, I should go for Bajaj Holding.
Okay.
I have one already in TVS Holding.
Got it. Got your question, Murli. I take this up with Astha quickly. Astha, I'll come to you on this query particularly. He's holding 25 odd shares of TVS Holding already. Should he continue to add more on this or should switch to something like Bajaj Holdings?
So I think, in fact, he has shown very, various merits about this company. And one merit or positive is that its valuation is also very strong. They are trading at a price to earning multiple of around 19, where the industry price to earning multiple is more than 20, 30. So in fact, the valuation seems to be okay. The only concern about this company is that the promoter pledging is there, if I remember it correctly. So the promoter pledging, and that is more than 5-10%. So that is the main concern for this company, and that's why I want him not to add more, because the financial performance was good. But I think it's better to stay invested in the quantity which he is having right now.
Okay. Yeah. Pledge percentage is 14.4% from what I can see. All right. We have to, Murli, apologies, we have to rush your question, but we have to hit the rapid fire round. And the first question that comes through on the rapid fire round is on GMM Fowler. Ashok from Bengaluru is asking this question. Bought at an average price of 1,396. Should he add or sell at this point? Swati on the charts.
Not to add at the current market price, hold your long positions. The immediate target will be at 1200 and beyond at 1240 levels come see.
Okay, the next question is on L&T Finance. Reena from Mumbai is writing in. She's a senior citizen. She's already holding 2,000 odd shares at 150. Should she continue to hold this for the next 6 odd months? Swati on the charts?
Yes, definitely she can hold on the long position. Stock looks very promising. 210, 240 are the likely targets. If you want to keep a stop loss, 180 is the very good support. So by keeping that as a stop loss, you can hold the long positions.
Astha Aarti Drugs is the name of the counter. We've got Mr. Sudhakar, who's bought 246 shares over a period of 2021 to 23. He's asking, should he hold, average, buy more?
Hold is the recommendation because performance was strong. 30% rise in the bottom line in Q4 FY25 was strong. I think hold is a better strategy with a price target of around 490.
Okay, Sanjay, who is holding shares of GE Shipping at 998 a piece and wants to know what should he do next for this particular counter. I'll stick with you, Astha, on this one, especially with the Iran-Israel conflict perspective.
I think hold is a strategy for this counter. Although financial performance was not on the very strong side, but I think industry tailwind is still there. Hold is the recommendation.
Okay, Kirti Vasan wants to know about Triveni Turbines, bought at levels of 650 rupees per share. He's asking when it can break out of the range that it seems to be stuck in. Swati, what's the potential upside? Would you hold?
Yes, I will suggest to hold on the long position. 640, 660 levels can be seen as long as the stock maintains a trend above the 580. Those are the very strong support levels. So it's all from my.
Okay, Giri from Bengaluru is asking about BEL. His average cost price is 280. Wants to know if he can hold for the next 6 odd months. Swati, I'll again come to you on this one.
PN definitely it's a strong contender. This particular stock we are witnessing very strong momentum rally. 440 at the likely target very soon. 385 is the crucial support level. So hold the long position by keeping that as a stop loss.
Okay, we're completely out of time. Swati, Astha, thanks so much for joining us today. Viewers, it's been an absolute pleasure. Do stay tuned. Up next is Know Your Company, and this is NDTV Profit.
गोल्ड क्लास ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रिफ्लेक्टिव ग्लास लगाओ, धूप की गर्मी को दूर भगाओ और बिजली का बिल भी बचाओ।
Imports become the exception rather than the norm, and increasingly we do almost last year, for example, of the contracts that we signed of record 2,09,000 crores, 81% was awarded to the domestic industry. Our intent is to manufacture in India, preferably with design also in India.
I am so elated to be on the same screen as the Defense Secretary, and I get a chance to talk about what he said.
In certain areas, like for example, artillery guns and armored vehicles, or in some categories of missiles like the BrahMos and the Akash, we've come of age.
What Defense Secretary Sir said is 100% true, and today private industry can really increase their involvement in R&D.
I am very proud to say that we make in our categories that we have been supplying to our defense forces some of the best platforms in the world.
One question can change everything. The big question. Bold, direct, uncompromising. Tough topics, hard-hitting analysis, conversations that matter. We break it down, cut through the noise and set the context for you. Hear from top policy makers and thought leaders from the world of business and beyond. The big question really is, are companies using dark patterns to take you for a ride? The big question we're asking today, is the US heading towards a recession? The big question is, are we sacrificing our health at the cost of convenience?
Hello and welcome. You're watching KYC. Today we have an interesting company for you. It's in the wiring segment and it makes steel wires. Now what I want to know about Bansal Wire Industries is that they follow a cost plus model. So how powerful is that? Because you are basically going away from any raw material cost inflation which might eat into your numbers and your margins. Is this a sustainable model? One. Second, is there still some bit of risk, if any, from raw material pricing? If there is an inch up in raw material pricing, does that dilute your margins? That's what I want to understand. And how much of that is built in to your contracts with your customers. So a little bit around that, I believe that could well be a risk because the margins are single digit, mind you. Any piece of that hurting margins could well hurt the numbers in significant fashion. We haven't seen it yet in the last 4 years that we've looked at the data for, but it could happen. And that's what I want to understand, what the risk of that is. The second one is the geopolitical risk. Everything that's playing out in markets currently has the geopolitical risk if you are export facing. Bansal Wire does do exports and therefore could that be a very real risk is what I'd want to understand. The third one is their FY26 strategy. Now this is where it starts getting very interesting. Now, Bansal Wire Industries has suggested that FY26 will be a tough year, it will be a muted year, and while volume growth will be the focus, margins will not expand, and therefore they are saying that we will keep this year more focused on market share acquisition. Can that in a significant fashion really aid market share and aid the FY27 numbers? Can this strategy play out? What is the downside risk of this strategy? And what is the rationale behind it is what I'd want to understand. Now, product mix. Post this strategy push, is there a change in product mix? And I want to understand this because the margins on each of the products is very different. And that's where, again, it's fascinating because you could well push one product with a higher margin, which could lead to a substantially different margin picture FY27 and beyond, and therefore profits will just be in another orbit if that were to happen. I want to understand whether that upside possibility is there. Now, FY27, therefore, what should we expect overall, both in terms of top line growth, margins, volumes, and what will backward integration really bring? Because they are going into backward integration and they're saying that that cost control should aid the numbers going forward. But how much of that, how much do raw material prices stop mattering, and how much therefore does that give or lend to margins? Is so a lot of these questions is what I want to understand and try and break down. Let me first start off with what Bansal Wire Industries does. It's a manufacturer of steel wires. I did indicate that. It's the largest stainless steel wire manufacturer